Well, hello everyone on this beautiful but slightly windy day of the 13th of March. Welcome to and welcome back to my channel, Maniacal S10 Shop and Garage. I am Mike. How's everyone doing? Excuse me. Thumbs up please. Like, subscribe. Click on subscribe, notification bell, and you're up to speed on what I have put up recently. Now, before we get going any further, we'll turn the camera around and show you something. These are through Disco Automotive, through O'Reilly's Auto Parts. In case I did not mention this in the other videos, this is where I got them through. Who I got them through. 2-piece and the 1-piece. And there's the information you'll need. 08 Pontiac G6 GT, and I think it's for earlier and later years. And other makes and models. But for sure 08. Probably 07 to 09. Okay. I apologize for the video that I did half upside down. I turned the phone. I thought it would still record right side up, but I found out the hard way that it doesn't do it that way. It don't work that way. So I have learned. But thank you for the understanding and the patience. Okay, hopefully today we will together find out how the cooling system flows and to get the air bled out of the system. I do believe now that I didn't let it run long enough and bleeded enough for that bleeder screw to let the air to the antifreeze out when the system is fully bled. But I do want to bring something to your attention on the reservoir tank. The one I have here is a new one through O'Reilly's, and it's OEM replacement. I'm going to try to do this without dropping the doggone thing. Listen closely. I know it's a blur, you won't be able to see it, but you heard that clanking noise. That's a float level for the radio through the computer system to indicate brake fluid's low or you got a problem with the brakes. So that's what that is. A sensor with the female plug-in is right there. And this outlet is for the heater hose to hook to. And this hole here, which is where it goes all the way through, top to bottom, as you can see the pipe cleaner comes out here to that top hole. Overflow, too much antifreeze, coolant, that's how it goes out. And with the cap, if you can see this, okay, there's the notches where the antifreeze comes out through that valve and goes out that top hole and out the bottom. And wherever it goes from that point, it just goes any which direction. And the flow for the antifreeze from the bleeder to the tank is this right here, as you can see. And it's doggone near level. Let me get my thumb out of the way. It's almost level with that overflow hole there at the top. So that's what I was trying to figure out. So I ran a pipe cleaners through it to figure out the system. And I believe now we got it figured out. But I'm still going to start the car and try to bleed this system all the way out and get it done once and for all. I want to do all this in one video, but I couldn't do it. I apologize. I really wished I could have done it that way. And I could not find this cap by itself on eBay. So I went back to the store to check on this. They don't sell the cap by themselves. It comes with the tank. And this is like 50-something bucks. So let's get out to the car. Okay, everyone. Well, we're out to the garage, to the driveway, to the car. And there goes the traffic. Beautiful day. Okay. All except for thoroughly bleeding the system out for the coolant is done. Now, as you can see, coolant's at the full mark. If you can see this, I'll try to point it right here. Whoops, get my hand in the way. Maybe you can, maybe. Now, there you go. It looks like a hose hanging from the bottom of the reservoir. You're right, because the hole I told you for the overflow, it goes out of the overflow container of the reservoir. That's stuck up in the hole, so I can direct the overflow straight down to a rag. I cannot get any kind of container in there because it's not level enough to do it, and it's just going to make a bigger mess, so I got to swap out the rags as I can. That's the only way I can do it, keep them getting on everything. And here's the bleeder screw. Let me get it focused a little bit better for you, right there. The other day I took it out, no antifreeze came out. It says to crack it. I'll bring it out about a ½ inch and see what happens. We're all going to learn on this one, because this is a new setup on me, because I'm used to using the burping system through the radiator back in the day and be done with it. Didn't have all this high-tech stuff to worry about. So let's get her started and see what we've got. Keys. Let's get in there and get her started. Toasty in here. Okay, and I promise I won't turn the camera upside down and record it upside down. I learned my lesson the first time. I just turned it over, and I was under the impression that it would keep recording the way it was supposed to. It don't. Okay, here we go. Everything is good. Let's fire it up. Fire in the hole. Temp is 50. We've peaked now, and I know that's not the correct time. I disconnected the battery once and it killed the correct time, so it's in the afternoon. It might be the right time, but I don't think so. So let's get back to the gauges. 50 degrees, she idles on down fairly quick, and before we do anything with the antifreeze, bleeding it, we gotta let her warm up some. As you can see what she's doing. It's going to take a few. Let's get out and check out and see what's going on. Some say leave the cap on or leave it loose. Some say put it all the way on, tighten it up, and we shall see. We're going to experiment a bit. I've also read and been told that it takes 15 minutes to a ½ hour to do this. And as you can see, it's not circulating. So let's give her some time. Okay, it's latched. You'll hear a click like it did in the other video, and it's on. It's not tight. I don't want antifreeze all over my belt and the system over here in the front of the motor. So let's see what happens when I crack that bleeder loose. Time for the garage, you get a 10 millimeter. Right there it is. I know it's backwards, but it's a 10 millimeter. Because I'm not going to put it right down there and get it stuck in the belt and mess something up. Let me switch hands. Now, as you can see, it's coming out, backing out, and nothing coming out. Now let's give her some time. We'll snug it back up. Just a slight snug. There we go. We're going to wait this out and see what happens. looks of it, nothing coming out the bottom. Yay. Nothing moving. Vibrating, but that's about the extent of it. Click, and we got it. So there it goes. So let's go ahead and tighten her up and see what happens. I cut quart containers in two. I've done everything I can think of. Get something down there to catch the antifreeze so it doesn't get wasted. Couldn't get it level enough. So here's the way I have to do it. Now you can see the hose I put onto it. I hope that works. So we shall see here in a little bit. Let's check the tip, see what we got going on. Now, as you can see, it's getting warmer and she's idled down now. Mechanics work's never done. All I can do now is wait this out. I hope my videos help you out and educational, informative, and help you save time and money. You want to go through all of I went through to do some of this, but some of it you will. But all's going good right now. Very few 08 Pontiac G6s, whether GT or not, has this fuel miles. Now, so I've seen some that's a little less than mine, but they're driven less than this one is. But for the year, the mileage, she's doing really, really good. On full synthetic. Mobile 1, actually. 5W30. Full synthetic, it dissipates the heat better. Like I said, all we can do is wait this out. In case you didn't hear me seconds ago in the video, I'm seeing, reading, hearing 15 minutes to a half hour to bleed the system out, and I didn't wait that long the first time. I'm learning with this as you are going along with this. Like I said, back in the day, back in my time, radiator, warm it up, being careful not to get burned, burp the block, it bubbles up out of the neck on where the thermos or the radiator cap's at or goes, and in minutes all the bubbles, once they stop, your system's bled, you're good to go. Not like that no more. So let's go out and see what we've got. Back and forth, out in, but that's the way it goes. All right, there's one of the containers that I tried to put underneath that overflow hose I added to the reservoir. Wouldn't work. Now let's see what we've got. Oh no, this hose coming from the bleeder is warm. It may be circulating now. So let's see what we've got. And see if there's anything dripping. Yep, it's dripping now because I released the pressure. So apparently it's the pressure that causes it to drip like that. And, yep, you see it dripping inside, and if it drips inside that way, it drips outside. So let's get this back on and we'll check on the bleeder again. Click, it's hooked, tighten her up, and see what we got. Warm. And the drip is almost stopped. At least I'm keeping it centered in one spot. So that's telling me something now. When the system's open, of course I've been finding out and seeing now where the cooling system, like the transmission system, sealed system. Yep, it's getting warm, so let's crack it open to see what we've got. I like to put a rag down there, but I don't want to get caught in the belt. I really don't know any other way of doing this. So, open in and see what we've got. Hopefully you don't make a big mess. Well, it's tedious. You gotta be careful with this. Nothing yet. Well, that's cracked open. Oh, about a quarter of the bolt. Let's take a look over here and see what's going on with my added overflow hose. Okay. Now we're wondering, if I crack this open, what will happen? There goes dripping again. And over here, nothing. It means she's flowing, but nothing coming out over there, so right now I still don't know what's going on. I hate that. As you can see. Okay. And there's two seals on this. One right there. One down here at the bottom to seal the cap to the reservoir. And once that seals up, click, hooked, and now she is on. And snugged, and stopped dripping. So this part's a sealed unit. There's still nothing over here. I'm gonna go ahead and snug it back up. We've been at it now, what, approximately 10 minutes? Because once you think you got it all bled out, and you start driving, and you hear a sloshy type of sound, water moving around, getting pushed around, the system's not bled out, totally bled out. So she stopped dripping. She's not too low, and once we shut it off, we'll see how much she pulls out. Antifreeze from the reservoir to the coolant. And she's almost at operating temp, OT. See if I can do this a little bit better for you here. And the heater on full. See what we got going on now. Some run the heater, some don't, so I'm gonna try this, see what happens. But I've also seen on YouTube where they raise a RPM up to 2,500. So we're trying to see what happens. Let's get out there and take a look. Now we're getting our aerobics in today. Well, now she's the level of the antifreeze, as you can see, has come up some. All good there. All good there. I don't know why she won't bleed out from this screw or bolt, bleeder valve. I don't know why. Maybe it's bled out, and maybe not. That's what concerns me, is nothing's happening here, but it is flowing. I'm just wondering if it's clogged. And I'm not going to take this apart just yet to find out, but if I do, then I will do a video on this. Nothing at all. Enjoy the powder house. come up some and no more drip. And we've been in this 15 to 20 minutes. Well, my recording time on this is right at 20 minutes. Let's see what we got inside again. There's no doubt at operating temp now. Get my finger out of the way, it helped. I mean, she's putting out some toasty air now. Oh yeah. After all this is done, I'm about to do the AC and get it running for a while to circulate the oil in the system. Stick it back up at 25 again for a few. I don't hear any sloshing, but she might be bled up, but I'm curious if that bleeder's not clogged. That's some hard plastic, brittle plastic, and one little false move and it's broke, and that's going to be a mess. Let's get out and take a look. Because once I shut her off, if it needs any antifreeze, extra antifreeze back into the system, it'll pull it out and hopefully it'll be done. No drips. Nothing over here. So let's put it back in, or screw it in. It don't take much. You got a seal there, like I said. That's some brittle plastic. At least by the looks of it, it's got a metal insert for the threads like a heater coil. So eventually I will probably get bold enough, brave enough to take that off and see if there's any clogging. I got a hunch it's clogged. The reason why it's dripping like it is over here when it does, because it has to get out somehow. As you can see by the level, it's come up, under a 1/4 inch. Give me a second, I'm gonna turn this around. I'm gonna get this car up on the ramps, I think. Maybe not. Okay, we're on the front of the car. That's the down pin for the radiator, driver's side is where it was leaking. And this piece here, this bracket that bolts on, these two bolts back here, I think they're 13 millimeter. You take these brackets, this one and this one down here where my hand is at, take them off and down, and have the car up high enough. The radiator comes out the bottom. You don't have to go through all what I went through, but I put the trans cooler bracket on. There's a reason why I had to go through what I did with the bumper cover and all off and do the modification. And I made my own, basically it's grommet right there. I done that work. That's how you do it without having to go through all what I went through. But if you go through what I went through, that's what you're going to have to do. Okay. Okay. Nothing's changed here. No drip. Good. Hasn't pulled any out. And I've already snug that one, the bleeder screw up. And we're right at the half hour, a little over into this. Let's shut off and see what happens, shall we? We'll try to keep an eye on this as it cools off, see what's going on. Heater's been on, that off. Let's do one more RPM and shut her off. Temp and all's good. Yeah, I went up to 3,000, but it didn't hurt it any. Okay, everyone. Off she goes. Let's see what happens now. How quick or how slow, I don't know. That's warm. Now could have swore I saw a drip there. Now I'm gonna try to hold this still and watch and look at this. This level above the two-piece part of the seal of the tank, it's come up a little. So she's actually pushing some out. Thought I saw one drip, but that has come up a bit. Yep, you can see it gurgling now. Now it's burping itself. And see if I can get all this on one here. I heard something pop, so I'm not sure what's going on with that. No drip yet, or another one. No, not another drop yet. Drip drop. I'll get it out. I'll get it right. Has come up some. I hear a bit of a gurgle or something. Let's break that bleeder loose and see what happens now. Maybe it'll do something. Actually, in case it does, let's get a rag. Just in case. Hope it does come out. I just heard another crack or popping. I think it's just because the motor's not running, keeping up heat, and as it cools, everything cools, shrinks. So let's see what we got here. It's loose, as you see how far it's out. Okay, give me just a second. Okay, as you can see, I've moved the air duct out of the way. I have this, which I'm going to tip. I take this bleeder bolt out, gloves, and give me a sec. My protection on just in case. I don't have to worry about my ears now. I can hang these back up. Yay. But my goggles I'm going to keep on, and this glove for some protection. So let's see now what happens. It's doing the same thing it did to me the other day when I took that bleeder screw out. Nothing. And you can see where it's got the, I get to it, the insert there. So let's see what happens this way, if anything. Not even damp, no moisture, coolant whatsoever. This might be clogged. I'll check that later. But for now, she seems to be good. I want it to work the way it's supposed to work, reason why I'm going through all this. But I think this bleeder is clogged. So it's probably been bleeding all of itself out from the reservoir. So let's snug it up and we're done with this. Don't take much. Okay, let's get everything back to normal. What even want to call normal. Okay. Now then. this back down. I'll get that wire back up. And no drip that I see. And it's still where it was minutes ago. And just push some out. So let's check, see what it'll do. Okay, we're right back where we started from. Alright, so far so good. I'm going to leave that hose in there. The rag I'm not. Let's see what we got at the bottom, if anything, or much. As you can see, we have some. That's about it. So let's take the rag out and see how much. You can see a color difference. It did drip out some. It's still popping, cracking a bit. And the antifreeze has gone down, or the coolant has gone down slightly. So I'll do a video. I want to take this off and loose, or loose and off, and see if it's clogged. I think all this, because it's clogged, it's going out over there. So we shall see at a later time and date. But as it's warmer and not as windy, give you a bad hair day, but you know, that is the way it is. Okay, everyone. Everything's working out great, other than the bleeder screw, which like I said, I think is clogged. Let's bring this up. There we go. This video should be right side up. Yay! I apologize once again for doing another video partly upside down. I just didn't know it. I can't redo that unless I take all this back apart again. At a later date, I may do that and check see how things are going, and to replace the rubber hoses. And it is high pressure PSI line for the transmission lines for the rubber hose. So on that note, thanks for tuning in. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay warm, which is upcoming weather shouldn't be that difficult, and keep the wrenches turning and keep the knuckles dirty. Like, subscribe, and notification bell once again, and thank everyone so very, very much for subscribing and watching my videos. I appreciate it dearly, sincerely. You're all like a family of my friends, more family than friends, and I appreciate that. I really do. I enjoy making them as I can. I need to help you all out. I appreciate the views. I want to get more views. I want to do more videos. Just to be 154, 155 I've got up. So thanks once again, everyone, and have a safe, blessed day.